Tracy Treese, and I am here with a familiar friend. Y'all know Tammy. Tammy, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
Yeah, so today the LA Sparks are matching up against the Atlanta Dream, y'all. It's a high stakes game. The Atlanta Dream could make it into the playoffs, and we could start to extend our wins. What are you looking forward to today in the game, Tammy?
I'm looking forward to seeing a Sparks win. I want to see some aggressive play. I would love to see the Dream and their dream tonight.
That's right. I love that wordplay. And behind us, we got Erin McDonald suited up. We're not sure if she's playing, but it would be great to see her playing. Jordan Canada is also back in Crypto.com for the first time. The last time we played the Dream, she was away. Tammy, we just talked to Rakia and we just talked to Ray, just off their vibes. How are you feeling like we're going to compete against Jordan Canada in the Dream?
You know what? I think because they're having fun and they're in such high spirits, I think today is going to be a really good day for them to go out there and do what they need to do. The chemistry is there. We just need them to bring home the win.
That's right.
Yep.
And speaking of chemistry and vibes, let's send it over to Coach where he talked about what it's feeling like in the locker room. Hey, Coach. Big stakes game today. Atlanta is going for a playoff spot, and we are looking to extend our winning streak. Can you talk about what the energy is like in the locker room ahead of this matchup?
The energy coming in was just picture day, so that was all fun for us to take pictures and see the whole organization out there on center court. But excited to get back and playing. I feel like we've played good basketball recently, and really have put ourselves in positions with this young team to chase wins, and really excited for them to build upon the win against New York. It's been a while since we've played, certainly Atlanta and their personnel. We haven't played against Jordan this year, and Tina didn't play the other night, so they have her back. So we know the stakes that they're playing for. We know what we're trying to do and build. So an exciting opportunity here on Sunday in front of our home crowd.
Hey, Coach, obviously there's been some ups and downs this season, but given where you are now, what is the thing you're most proud of as far as this young team?
Yeah, I think that the team's not quit and, not lost sight of the big picture of what we're trying to do and build in the bright future. And not only are we trying to build something that grows to where we want the organization and the team, but we want it to be sustainable. So I love the culture that we're creating in the locker room. I love the fact that there hasn't been a lot of woe is me with the injuries and illnesses. It's uncanny, and I could come in here and rattle off, or teams, the players could rattle off what we've been through again this year. But we've used it as an opportunity that it gives other people, their chance, and are they ready to step up for their opportunity? So I'm just excited about a lot of things. I'm biased, I know that, but I think Rakia, has put herself in discussion for awards. I think she's put herself in discussion that it should be mentioned that she is a rising potential star in this league, and that credit of the improvement within season can't be understated. It's not easy to improve in season with the cadence of games that we have, but she's got to work. She's worked hard with the assistant coaches in the film room. She's worked hard away from practice. I give my staff a lot of credit of building the confidence up through her on both sides of the ball. That's one, individual, proud that I've seen. Proud that De'Erica continues to lead us through, some difficult, distractions potentially. She just continues to be our leader. Also should be mentioned as we wind down these last 19, 18 days of season-ending awards herself. Her improvement, her 9-point improvement. I mean, we can list on one hand people that have improved by 9 points or more from one season to another, and just the leadership that she's done that with. So there's individual, things that make me really proud of this whole team, but there's also, overall mentality that they are continuing to grind and build and continue to try to win. And anyone that claims otherwise doesn't really know our locker room.
On that mentality, against New York, I was able to speak with Camila at halftime, and she said, you know, the thing is, you guys showed up in the first half in terms of mentality, effort. What, with a young team, is crucial in ensuring that that's the mindset from the jump and through all 4 quarters as you guys continue to grow and evolve together?
Yeah, I think the mindset is, you know, we've had very few games where, first, let me start this. The WNBA is a league of runs. Like, you know, coming from the collegiate game, it was one of the first things that Brian Agler, you know, mentored me on. It's just like, it's a long game, and this game at the WNBA level has a series of runs. And I've been really proud that no matter when we've taken, you know, a shot and we've taken a big punch or a haymaker by a team, we've stepped up to the plate. That New York game, first out of the Olympic break, was really disappointing because it was the first time where I felt like we didn't respond with that big run in New York. And so I think that motivated us also going into the New York game. So, you know, the mentality that this league is going to have runs and that we have to respond to them. Can we, you know, stop runs quicker? And then, you know, for us, it's the fourth quarter growth, the closing mentality, the confidence that not only are we playing teams with 3.5 quarters, we have the ability to close despite all our injuries and illnesses and stay confident, stay with the game plan, stay disciplined. You know, I think we lose some discipline at times when we feel the urgency of someone individually making a play to change this momentum. And it's a unit that has to change momentum, not an individual player. And so that's continuing to be the message. And all I can do and the coaching staff is try to put this team continually in position to do that and grow from.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask before you mentioned it. I mean, what are some of the specific things that Rickea Jackson has done to just go on this tear in the second half of the break? Are there things that you're teaching her that some of her other teammates are helping her out with? How much is it just her just kind of going crazy?
Yeah, I again, like in basketball, it's not one thing. I give a lot of credit to Rickea. You know, like, she's learned the league. She understands the pace now and the physicality and, you know, what you need at this level, how people are attacking her, what she needs to do. Her biggest growth area won't be talked about. It's not sexy, right? But where she's defending now compared to the way she was defending in May is light years. And again, that's the shortest training camp in the history of the league. We were playing her a lot at the 4 in training camp because we didn't have Azare, so we were thin in the post. You know, Lee hadn't been in the league for a few years, was only starting her second year in the league. So we needed her to give us minutes at the 4. You know, now she's really settled in after those first 12 days. Like, she didn't start for 12 days. Like, we hear, like, the nonsense on social media. She didn't start for 12 days. 1, 2, okay? When she was back in the starting lineup, now she's played more consistently at the 3, so she's really been able to settle in as a wing and knows how the league operates at that position, has become a great, you know, a much improved defender. But the offensive side is all of us learning, you know, like that. She's been really good off pin downs, you know, over the last month. We put her in action, not always in ball screens. She's a really efficient player, so we can play her with the back to the basket. Well, we have Azare back, and so now you have more post players that can protect her from the arc. Dearica is having an underrated year at the arc, her best in her career, one of the best in her careers. And so there's more protection to post up some of our bigger wings. Rickea is benefiting from that, and some post players that can protect her and create some space. So it's just been fun to evolve. I've learned her game more. You know, that's the thing that people don't talk about is, like, coaches learn players' games, and we learn how to put people in position to be successful. So just, you know, huge credit to her, huge shout out to my staff. Again, I've been fortunate to have multiple players win the Most Improved Player awards in my short tenure in this league. And again, to watch that Dearica, in my opinion, should win that award this year. I thought last year that Jordan Canada should have won it, and you know, and to watch Rakia's improvement, I take pride in, you know, my coaching career on how we've helped players improve. Thank you.
All right, y'all, we just heard from Coach. He talked about all of the planning that they had. He talked about the scheming and how we haven't played against Atlanta in a while. So it'll be an interesting matchup. I'm going to ask you, Tammy, before each game, we kind of guess on who's going to be the player of the game. Today, who are you feeling like is going to be the player of the game?
I'm going to go either Odyssey or Rakia.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and we talked to both of them pregame, so that'll be interesting to see. I'm gonna just call it out, De'Erica Hamby, Old Faithful. You can't go wrong when you're betting on Mama D, so I'm expecting her to show up and show out. LA Sparks Weekly fans, make sure you keep it locked. We got a very fun game today. We got a guest host. Keep it locked for part 2 as we try to take on the Atlanta Dream. I'm here with Rakia Jackson.
All right, I think I got it from here, y'all. You know, it's Rain House. We taking over. The Rainbow Connection is here. RXR. You know, I just got some questions for you, Rakia.
Okay.
You are my Rookie of the Year.
Thank you.
You know, and I just want to ask, you know, what's something that you've been focusing on through the second half of the season as you've been dominating?
Thank you. Well, one thing I've been focusing on is my defense. I got tired of people cooking me and sitting on the bench because of it and the media talking about it, but I feel like that's been my main focus of the season.
I know that's right. Okay, and then we're going to go to some fun questions. Your hair, always popping, always looking bomb. What's your favorite hairstyle to do during the game?
I feel like my go-to is a braid, but the little two pigtails with the half up, half down, I think that was probably my favorite of the year.
That one ate. All right, and then what's your favorite memory of the season?
I would have to say when we beat the Las Vegas Aces the first time, because like I grew up like watching them play and then just being on the court with them, and we just came to play. And then our last game, RXR, you know, we were just cooking, so them two are my favorite.
Yeah, okay, thanks, Rakia.
Thank you.
RXR out.
What's going on, Infanity TV? It's DJ Treacy Treese. I'm here with my guest host, Tammy, and of course we're here with Odyssey Sims. Odyssey, welcome to the show, girl. Today we want to ask you, you know, you got a team that's like Atlanta with a bunch of aggressive guard play, I'd say. Very physical game. How do you expect to tackle this challenge?
I mean, we just got to handle their physicality like any other team that we face. They got good scoring guards. They're bigger. They're going to rebound. So we got to make sure we put bodies on them. And like I said, handle their physicality, but not let them disrupt us too much and get buckets.
Hi, Odyssey. I'm Tammy. We saw you get to Dallas and you adapted really quickly. Started 7 out of 9 games. You were averaging 17.2 points, shooting at 53%. How easy has it been to adapt to the culture of LA?
I mean, I would say the playing style is a little bit different, but in a way, kind of the same. As far as like playing fast, like anytime we can get out and run, Kirk likes that. So, I mean, it took me a while. I wouldn't say a while, but it took me a few games just to adapt because I didn't know the plays. I haven't really played with anybody except Ari. We were both in Atlanta together in 2021. But just, you know, learning my teammates a little bit more. So now I'm comfortable. I know how to play. I can put people in the right spots, and that's how I'm able to manage the game and make sure I get people in this stuff when I need.
And final question, Coach has sang your praises in the press conference about that same adaptation that you were talking about. What does it mean for you to come in on a hardship and then play such a big role in the starting lineup?
I mean, you know, I've been in and out the league the last couple of years, so You know, I told myself whatever opportunity is given to me, I'm gonna take full advantage of. And I stayed ready in the meantime when I wasn't picked up, and it worked out in my favor. So I just stayed ready. And I think just coming in to this team, my teammates are super dope. Everybody loves me, and I love them as well. So that makes everything easier, waking up and actually coming to your job and liking it. So far so good. We're just gonna try to string together some more wins.
LA Sparks Weekly, you heard it here. Stay ready with Odyssey Sims. Tap in. What's going on, LA Sparks Weekly? You already know me, it's DJ Treacy Trees, and I'm here with my guest host, Tammy. The Sparks, unfortunately, did not win this game. The score was 80-62. The Atlanta Dream battling for their final spot in the playoffs. Tammy, just off top, what did you think about today's game?
Oh man, it was a good game. It was tough. The Dream came out early. They got a 9-0 run, which established them, and it made it really hard for the Sparks. And then they just did not have a good shooting game, and the Dream looked like they were. So it just, you know, what was happening on one side of the ball, the other side, the other team was having the opposite day. So it just unfortunately was not the Sparks' day. And the Dream had something to fight for today.
That's the perfect read. That's everything that happened. It was just like the perfect storm of the ball wasn't falling in.
Right.
The Dream really had some passion because they had to win today in order to tie for the 8th place. So even after today's win, y'all, it's still not even guaranteed that they're going to be in the playoffs.
Right.
So when you're playing a team like that, it's tough.
Yeah.
Now, we had some good players that came out to answer. Tina Charles was showing up for the Atlanta Dream, but we saw Lee Yarou really come out. How did you like watching Lee play this afternoon?
One of my favorites to watch tonight. She's so strong. Her presence is very known down in the paint. She was drawing a lot of fouls, which is good for the team. She was also getting a lot of fouls, but to be expected when you're of that size out there on the court. So I enjoyed watching her. I think she really helped pull the team together, especially in the 4th quarter. So that was a fun part of the game today.
Perfect. Listen, speaking of Lee, was in the press conference today, so we're going to throw it over to Coach Lee and Rickea Jackson.
You know, tonight I thought it was an opportunity, as I shared with the team after the game, that was a really good teaching game for us and game where we can learn and you know, variety of ways. I thought the Atlanta scheme defensively was to really challenge us and almost dare us to make some perimeter shots because of the way they were defending us tonight. And again, we've talked about some of the ways throughout the game in timeouts, into quarters, and then halftime, what we do to counter the type of defense that they were playing on us. And you just didn't think that consistently that we executed what we were trying to get accomplished against their defense. And then, you know, compounded was a really tough shooting night from the arc. We shot nearly 50% on non-3 shots tonight. A lot of nights, you know, when you supplement that with some of your 3-point shooting, you know, those nights you probably feel pretty good that you shot 50% on non-3s. And we've been shot over 50% a couple games in a row. So, you know, just disappointing the way we shot it because I felt like they were almost daring us at times. Defensively, got off to a tough start, took that haymaker early. They really established Ryan and Tina early. We tried to make adjustments and tried to find a rhythm, and again, just wasn't happy with our defensive rebounding to be able to complete plays. Their offensive rebounding percentage for us tonight is just unacceptable, and we gave up 17 second chance points, but it's more the offensive rebounding percentage that they had tonight on their misses. We got 38 misses. You know, they were trending towards a night where they were going to miss 40-plus shots, but we couldn't get out in transition because we couldn't defensive rebound consistently enough. And those 17 points off offensive rebounds really is deflating when you get a first shot miss and you can't finish the play. So I think, again, I know that's a long opening statement, but I really think there was a lot of good teaching points tonight for our young team. And it's tough to lose at home. It's tough to lose in that fashion, to learn things. But if we walk out of here tonight and learn from it, you know, then I think we'll be better in the long run. Shout out to these two. You know, I extended Rickea, didn't take her out for the first 30 minutes. She didn't complain. She didn't grab her shirt. She just kept playing through it and played her in multiple different actions and different positions, asked her to guard different people, and just really proud of Rikia that way. She went over 400 career points as a rookie. She joins an exclusive list of Sparks, of Candace Parker, Neko Ogumike, and Lisa Leslie as the only rookies that have done that. So I just want to continue to shout out Rikia Jackson is very special and has a bright, bright future. And then Lee, a night where Azure was under the weather and not feeling well, and while she'll never use it as an excuse, and I certainly she probably could have gutted through longer, I liked what Lee was doing, and her physicality was a different look on Tina, was a different look for us to have a presence inside, and Lee stepped up to it when, you know, we were 3 for 12 from our starting post. I appreciated that Lee was ready when her number was called, and again, had a good night for us.
Hey, Jackie, with Jackie Ray TV. Lee, this question is for you. We talked before, and you said one of the things you really wanted to do more of was finish your shots when your teammates really got you involved in the game. How do you feel like you've evolved thus far, this loss regardless? How do you feel like you've evolved this season?
You know, I still try to learning more. Every game I have I meet a lot of problem for every game, and I learn for every game, try to figure out it, and the next game I meet another problem, and I still learning. For today, I feel I try to be stronger with Tina together play, because she's a superstar. I try to learning her, and I try to show me for her, and I will try to play stronger. I learning lots in practice, in coach, and I learning a lot from another team. So I try to be more better to help our team, and try to be better myself. Yeah.
Rikia, you're known for getting your team off to a strong start. Today you had a little bit more of a slower start. How did you work through that mentally and just with your game?
I feel like just focusing on my defense, trying to get my teammates involved, staying aggressive. My shot's not going to fall every night like I would want them to, but we got to continue to play. I feel like my defense has come a long ways. Still got some things to work out, but I feel like I just focused on the defensive end more.
Right. Hi, Lee. This question's for you. How was it going against Tina Charles, one of the all-time greats?
I met her in China before, so we know each other. She's a really good player. I know her, and but today she still get a lot. She showed her, and I try to learn more how to defend her, and how to let her don't get rebound. She gets a lot of rebound and some good offense. So I still need to learn how to defend her, and try to have a more offense, different shots to play with her.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, DJ from Infanity TV. Rikia, there was a lot of different things happening in the paint, but a new move that we've been seeing from you a lot is that like pivot, step back, jumper. Can you talk about like how you work with the coaching staff to develop new ways to get you space to score?
Yeah, I feel like that's just something that I've kind of always did, especially like if I can't get to the rim all the way, have a counter. But Nolan and I work on that move literally every single day before the game. Them staying confident, telling me I can score against anybody. So them instilling that just makes me want to go at people more and continue to do that. I feel like it just helps me get my shot off, because people think I'm about to do a layup and then I just fade away. So yeah.
Last question.
Rikia, Coach Miller said pregame that you're becoming a superstar player, future star player. Do you think you're a star player already? And how do you think your game has improved? And also, Coach, these are only 2 players in double figures tonight. How do you get more offense?
I feel like if Coach Kurt says that, then that means I am, because doesn't say that about just anybody. So, but I do feel like I'm a star. I feel like I'm a growing star. I feel like I'm never content, and I feel like that's what makes me a star. I feel like I want to continue to get better. When they tell me, I need you to be better at this, I literally try to fix it in the next game. And I feel like just being a sponge and wanting to get better each and every game, each and every practice, I feel like that is what is going to take me over top. I'm not 100% where I want to be, but I feel like I'm a growing star. I don't feel like I'm 100% there yet, but just continuing to stay within it, listen to my coaches and my teammates. I feel like one day I am going to get there, and I feel like I improve most, again, on my defense, just having a defensive-minded mentality, especially with the guards in this league. Like, I don't like when they score on me. It honestly bothers me, and I feel like I've just been more attentive, just, guarding them, trying to chase them off screens more, not dying on screens and things like that. So I feel like that's what I got the best at. You're good.
Any questions for Kurt?
Do you want me to answer that one?
Oh, yeah.
So, offensively, it was a tough night for us. And again, inside the arc, I didn't think we shot it too badly. I thought we tried to establish. I thought at times we were getting pieces of the paint and spraying the ball around, and we actually were executing from our penetration to open threes. And again, it's a make or miss league. We've got to step up and make some threes. I thought we had a lot of our 21 attempts, I thought we had a lot of open threes, so and we're capable of making those. So, that was the difficult part. Obviously, their scheme was to dare us into it and force us to see if we would take some of those with the way they were playing the ball screens. And again, it was just one of those nights shooting. But again, the other way was we couldn't get enough stops to get out in transition. A big goal for us was to be in double-figure fast break points tonight, was to really play early and get them cross-matched with our commitment to run. And it was just really difficult to run against them tonight. They missed 38 shots, but it was difficult to get to run tonight against Atlanta because we just couldn't secure enough defensive rebounds consistently throughout the night.
Hey, Coach, can you talk about Lee tonight? I saw a lot of players feeding her inside tonight. Was that part of the game plan for her to, be enforced inside?
Yeah, certainly when she's on the floor, she carves out space and can demand the ball. And so at times, that's, when we were starting to struggle at the arc, there was a commitment to get her touches. And she's good at drawing fouls and so accumulating fouls. So maybe it's not always her, but maybe the foul count goes up earlier in quarters and we can get ourselves to the foul line. But, I appreciated the willingness for our guards to share it with her that way. Again, she's 25. This is only her second year in the league. Not, just a little over, 3/4 of the way into her second year. So she's just going to get better and better. She is really humble. She's a really hard worker. She's really open-minded. She thinks that, there's so much growth all the time. And I just, appreciate our players love her. Our coaching staffs love her. She's just a blessing to have here. And I look forward to her growth.
Amanda Scarlock, LA Sentinel. I did notice in the fourth quarter, you guys outscored the Atlanta Dream. And that was also an attribute you had in your win against the New York Liberty. If you could just talk to me about the energy that the Sparks gave in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I thought, I never doubted. I wanted a toughness. I wanted a compete level. I think we could have competed higher. But as I shared with them, I didn't think we were lazy. I didn't think that we weren't trying. We talked about before the game that there's a lot out there saying that this was a must-win for Atlanta. There is a dogfight for the 8th and final spot on this playoff picture and situation, and you knew how hard they were going to play. So I appreciated that. Wasn't one of those nights. Wasn't one of those nights, and that we kept fighting. And some players Isaiah Cook, that hasn't always gotten consistent minutes here, got an opportunity, and she played hard. And so, I appreciate that's the culture we're trying to create. Doesn't matter what the score is on the scoreboard, that we're going to play hard. Now, I will tell you, to not have one quarter of 20 or more points tonight is disappointing. Disappointing at this level, especially with what we've done lately, scoring the basketball. To not have one quarter and 20 or more, disappointing. But again, was much better defensively in the second half, but still couldn't get our offense going to make them really feel us. Right? We got it down to teens. I don't think we broke it back into single digits, but. Just they never. I wanted them to really feel us at some point in the pressure when you have a big lead.
Coach, you've talked a lot this year about how this is a build, and how the process and how you get there, is what's something that's really important. You had 2 players up here with you that have made tremendous strides from the beginning of the year to now. Regardless of how the rest of this season turns out, what would you need to see from some of these young players in order to kind of consider it, a success?
Yeah, again, I want an attitude, a culture of growth. I want a culture that doesn't separate when it gets tough. A resilient team that can take a poor stretch or a run and respond to it. I don't like these 9-0, 10-0 starts against us, but what's really important to me is how we're responding to runs in the game, and do we step back up. It just wasn't a good enough first quarter on both sides of the ball, but we had trouble stopping runs tonight because we couldn't score consistently. But again, it's just a mindset to come to work. You always fight yourself as a coach. Should we have given them 2 days off after New York? But we know we're on the road for these next 2 games, and then the cadence really picks up with our games. And so, I don't know if that extra day off contributed to being a little sluggish. I don't, that's where you start to second guess yourself as a coach. But I want a professionalism about this group down the stretch, regardless of how many wins we end up with. I just want a compete level that's higher. I asked Derek and Azare to really lead us. They're 2 champions. They're 2 WNBA champions in our locker room. And it's really important that they continue to keep leading what the passion, energy, compete level has to be like to be forming a championship team in the long run.
Hey, Coach, DJ from Infanity TV. This is your first time going up against Tanisha Wright after you guys spent so much time together with that gold medal team. What was it like tonight coaching against one of your colleagues?
Yeah, we've become, she's my sister from another mother, we've become incredibly close, and, just really respect when you spend that much time. It's like summer camp, right? It just spends so much time together, and you're pulling for the same thing, and you're trying to support Cheryl, which, you could keep me here for days to talk about the pressure that the U.S. Olympic coach feels. So we're going to be bonded for life. That staff will be bonded for life. It's been a pleasure to get to know her. She's really, really close with Karen Bryant, who hired me here to the Sparks. And so I, always heard about Tanisha Wright. I was brought into the league by Brian Agler, who isn't afraid or shy to say that Tanisha Wright was the favorite player he ever coached, and he's coached a million great ones. And so I'm like, what's so special? Everyone talks about how special Tanisha Wright is, but I got to see it. So she's my sister from another mother. We're bonded for life, and I'm a rooter for her. I didn't want to root for her tonight, but when I'm not, now I root for her. She was a special player in this league that played with passion and was a really, really good defender and carved out a niche for herself for a long time and hung around a long time. So I think she's doing great things there. I wish them well in their compete for the last playoff spot. And again, she's a special one.
Hey, Coach, we talked about Rickea playing the first 30 minutes. Was it a matter of getting her going after a slow start offensively, or just more like experience?
Yeah, again, I have so much confidence in her that she's going to find stretches in a game where she's going to bring good things at both sides of the ball. I love her growth defensively. She's still got a ways to go, and schemes to learn and how people try to attack her. But the compete level has, from May to now, you just have to pop in a film. It's crazy. She knows now the new thing I'm on is, her rebounding numbers go up. But, again, we ran a bunch of things out of timeouts for her. We ran some things to start the game for her. The ball just didn't go in. But, she still, scored 13 points. And that's an off night. And that's what I think you're going to see Rickea moving forward. Is Rickea is going to be a team scorer even on off nights, and you're going to see her in the 20s consistently, as we go up. But the one thing she's earned is more attention, and she got more attention tonight in some of the actions that we've been using. She got more attention from Atlanta. That's a credit to her that there's now scouting report attention to her, and that's then now her next step is she's an asterisk and a 1A on talking about opponents scouting and what they want to do, and players that have earned that right then learn from that. And so, this is a great opportunity. She had more attention to her tonight, and how can you still be successful even when those scatter reports and attention from opponents are on you? And I think she's going to handle it with incredible grace, and I think she's just going to thrive through it. And I look forward to these last 8 games with her getting that type of attention, because that will only help her going into year 2. Thank you.
You just heard from Lee, Coach, and Rickea Jackson in the press conference. A lot of good things said there. It's funny, you called exactly what Coach said. He talked about the scoring. He talked about the defense. What was some things that you heard in the press conference that, kind of stuck out to you?
One thing that really stood out was how young this team is.
Yeah.
They have a lot of injuries as well, so they're battling a lot of growing pains right now, which is to be expected from such a young team. I'm looking forward to see what they do come with in future seasons, but tonight, unfortunately, was not their night. And I do believe that a few players like Rickea, she did an incredible job out there. She had the play of the game, actually. Yeah. So that was one of the things that stood out, and he said that she is a rising star, and she absolutely is.
It feels so good to have you come onto the show and say all the things that I've been saying. So LA Sparks Weekly fans, you now hear it. It's not just me saying these things. The team is young. We rebuilding. We got to give them a chance. Yeah. So I asked you before the game who your player of the game is. Let's circle it on back after you've seen it. Who is your player of the game today?
Ooh, my player of the game is definitely still Rickea.
Still Rickea.
Yeah.
Still Rickea. All right, I'm going to go ahead. I picked De'Erica. I was wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, but it didn't look like she was feeling that good.
Like she got hurt.
Yeah, and then she didn't play the whole game. Right. So I was only half wrong. I'm going to give it to Lee.
Yeah.
Lee Yarou, that footwork, going up against Tina Charles, and, the giant that she is, the scoring monster that she is in the WNBA. She did a really great job of just standing on her own 2 feet and continuing to score.
Yeah, absolutely. It did kind of look like WWE down there.
That's why I almost said it. I was like, it was a whole wrestling arm thing.
Battle.
Yeah.
It was a battle. Yeah, that's a good player of the game.
It's great. So thank you so much, LA Sparks Weekly fans. We will be back with an away game, so we will be in the studio. So make sure you keep it locked on Infanity TV. But before we go, Tammy, tell everyone where they can follow you.
Oh, yeah. You can follow me at The Cannabis Cutie. You have to type it all the way out and type it correctly. If I am not there, you can find me at my website, thecannabiscutie.com, or on TikTok at The Canna Cutie.
Boom. You got it. Tammy's here. We here. It's DJ Treesy Trees, LA Sparks Weekly. We'll see y'all next episode.